It's Tim Albright with AVNation at NAB 2025 in the Matrox booth with Alberto Cieri.
Yes, hi, very well.
So you and I have talked before about, let's just call it AV over IP protocol, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Matrox has done a lot of innovations on various platforms, on various transports.
Correct.
So from your perspective, when it comes to broadcasting and it comes to whether it's the broadcast engineer or it's the IT director, when they're looking at the different protocols, how do you make that determination? How do you decide which avenue to go down?
Well, yeah. So in fact, you're right. There is a trend going on, what we're referring to as AV broadcast, where there's a need to generate a lot of live content, which could be content from cameras or from presentations and so on. And what's going on generally in the industry is that people are saying, hey, how do I use some of the tools that are being used in the broadcast industry, and how do I bring it down into my own AV facility or corporate AV facility and so on? And obviously, the thing that's interesting and important for people is to try to avoid being locked into one type of technology or one type of protocol. That's something that the broadcast industry has worked very hard over the last few years, and that's why they created something called SMPTE 2110. And that technology now is being brought down to the AV space, which is great, allowing them now to be able to pick different tools that they need to put together when they want to put together a production or what they want to invest in. Again, going always for the best of breed and not being locked in. And now with the creation of IPMX, which is based on the 2110 protocol, it really opens things up for the AV market, and now allowing them to now use 2110 in sort of their pure studio, if they have a studio in their facility, and then basically be able to send the content around, distribute the content around in their facilities using IPMX, because IPMX allows for making it much easier to send things around, allowing them to have 1 gig networks, whereas 2110 in general is using uncompressed, higher 25 gig type networks, where with IPMX you can have compression and you have 1 gig networks, so allowing them to really distribute the content around or bring their content from rooms to the studio if then they need to produce it. So it really opens things up for them and allows them, again, to really focus on picking the best in breed tool for what they're trying to do, instead of being locked into a certain manufacturer's protocol.
So let me ask kind of a devil's advocate question here. If we go down the 2110, the IPMX road, are we not getting locked into then a protocol?
Well, not really, because it's an open standard, so there's no fees. And when everybody's using that same protocol to interface, it was sort of how it was with SDI. It was just SDI was a way, or even HDMI was just a way to connect things. But HDMI had certain limitations, right? HDMI forced you to use these expensive switch like routers and switches. Now going to IP allows you to use a very simple setup. And because it's just a protocol, it really forces manufacturers to have to innovate to differentiate.
Okay.
And again, who wins? The end customer.
Excellent. Alberto, somebody wants to find out more about Matrox Video, how do they do that?
Well, I welcome them to come to the matroxvideo.com website, and you get all the information you need there.
All right. Alberto Cieri from Matrox Video. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. Find more videos from the show floor of NAB 2025. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.